This afternoon we have a superb lineup of speakers, and our moderator for our session is Ajahn Sister Wayama. Ajahn is the abbot of Dhammasara Nuns Monastery. For those of you in Western Australia, you may already know about it, but it's an exceptional place. It's a large forest area of many, many, many acres. And when Sister first started there, she was the only nun there living in a caravan in the middle of the bush, never having done it before. And her stories of endurance and courage and bravery have inspired many of us. And now she has a very successful monastery with a waiting list of people wishing to become nuns there. But what was so amazing was when I spoke to her the other day about persuading her to become a moderator because she was a little shy, she said to me, "Oh, no, I'm just a mere tadpole in the back garden pond." I've probably now embarrassed her incredibly. I'm sorry, Sister. And I said, "It's not quite how I see you, Sister. We'd love you to moderate," and we're so thrilled that she's going to do this. And her topic today is Women in Buddhism Making Gender Irrelevant. Please welcome Ajahn Sister Wayama.
Thank you, Rachel. As we heard in the session on fundamentalism, one of the hallmarks of a fundamentalist is their unwillingness to engage in dialogue with people who have a different or opposing view to their own. This afternoon, I have the honour of introducing a distinguished panel of speakers, all of whom have been engaged for many years in very active dialogue with those who may or may not agree with them around the issue of women in Buddhism, making gender irrelevant. I'm sure they all have strong views, but if there is any fundamentalism around this issue, it is not from their side of the debate. Venerable Bhikkhuni Dhammananda will open the discussion on women in Buddhism, making gender irrelevant. Venerable Dhammananda was the first Thai woman to be fully ordained in the Theravada tradition in 2003. She has studied in India and Canada and has a BA in philosophy, an MA in religion, and a PhD in Buddhism. In 2004, she was awarded the Outstanding Buddhist Woman by the United Nations, and in 2005 was nominated by 1,000 women for the Nobel Peace Prize. Please welcome Bhikkhuni Dhammananda.
Venerable Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha, and friends, I would like to pay respect and ask for protection from someone who was even before the Buddha. How about that? I am going to invite the blessing from the Buddha's mother. Ratanyunang Bhikkhuninang Kotami Chinnamatucha Thapita Akathanam Hi Satha Soting Karotuno. She was the first Bhikkhuni ordained in Buddhism, and she was the Buddha's stepmother and aunt who actually breastfed him. So this is the record that the Buddha himself praised her for being foremost in Ratanyunang, means knowing many nights, because she was the first Bhikkhuni. So my presentation, I focus on the ordination of women in Thailand particularly, and the government versus the Sangha in particular. I know that in Australia you have the Sangha, which is originated from Thailand. So I thought maybe your Bhikkhu Sangha will be interested in it. I have to learn these gadgets forward. Now it does not work. I'll use this one.
It's not that one, it's
This one, okay. There are two, so I was confused. Historical background of the Sangha showing the connection between Thailand and Sri Lanka. Very close connection. Venerable bhikkhus from Sri Lanka will be very happy. Or are you happy? I am happy. In 13th century AD, introduction of Langa Vangsa. Oh, I think the slides have been misplaced somewhat. Doesn't matter. Somehow at the end you will get the whole story. 13th century AD. The introduction of Langa Vangsa, hence official establishment, Theravada lineage in Thailand. So we started Buddhism in Thailand, we started it with Sri Lanka lineage. And in 18th century AD, again now reverse, introduction of Siam Vangsa in Sri Lanka. And it started by Upali. This is a statue of Upali Thera, who went from Thailand to re-establish the Bhikkhu Sangha in Sri Lanka. Supposed to be the oldest Sangha in existence in Sri Lanka now. So Siam Vangsa just celebrated the 250 years anniversary in 2003. So that was about 3 years ago. Admission of the Sangha was through Dharma and Vinaya. You remember at the Buddha's deathbed, he mentioned about he was not selecting any one particular leader, but it is Dharma Vinaya. It is the teaching and the monastic rules that will take you through. So at that time, we did not yet have the Tripitaka, just Dharma and Vinaya. So as I mentioned just now that on his deathbed, so this is how the Buddha looked in Kushinagar, the place where he passed away and the place where he was cremated. Due to the fall of Ayutthaya in 1767, the Sangha suffered a heavy decline. And because of that, we start having the introduction of law of Sangha in the law of the three seals in Rama I. So this is King Rama I, and that was the beginning of the intervention of state over the Sangha. This is how it looked, the law of the three seals, starting from King Rama I onward. As a capital, we are now more than 200 years old. The two sects of Buddhist Sangha in Thailand started from Rama III period. Mahanikaya means the sect which is larger, Maha is larger, consisting of 90% of the Sangha. The whole total population of Sangha is 300,000. And Dhammayut, it's 10% of the monks' population. Now comes the hierarchy, which is very peculiar. It's not there in Buddhism of the Buddha, but it is there in Thai Buddhism.